Leah's hands grip the steering wheel as the old sedan pulls over the cracked lip of the driveway. The car shudders to a half-stop, engine idling rough after 6 straight hours on the highway. None of the 4 people inside have slept more than 2 hours at a stretch the entire trip. Mark shifts in the front seat, pushes his door open hard enough to scrape it against the gravel. He jumps out first, yanks the back door open and grabs 3 heavy duffels at once. His boots crunch sharp on loose stone. Lexi hangs back in the back seat, picking at a loose thread. She doesn't move until Via taps her on the shoulder. Via steps out first, holds the door open for Lexi, then walks around to the driver's side. Leah cuts the engine. The rumble dies. Silence drops thick over the driveway, broken only by the thin chirp of crickets in the overgrown yard. The house looms ahead, new siding stopping halfway up its walls, weathered brick exposed at the top. It's half finished. None of them can afford rent alone. This is the only option they have left. They all agreed this could be the fresh start they needed. They stand together in the gravel, facing the house, and no one speaks first. Leah is the first to move. She steps past the overgrown flower bed and pushes the front door open. It sticks on the warped frame, and she has to shoulder it hard to get it open. A cloud of dry dust puffs out into the yard, sticking to their throats and making them cough. The first thing they do is drag all the rotting drywall scraps and empty discarded boxes out to the curb for trash pickup. Leah pulls out a crumpled printed checklist from her pocket and crosses off arrive at property with a ballpoint pen. She hands everyone a rubber glove and a bottle of all-purpose cleaner. Mark heads straight for the staircase, where a 2-foot crack splits the front wooden tread wide enough to catch a boot. He mixes wood filler in a dented plastic bucket, dips his putty knife in, and spreads it smooth across the split, scraping off the excess with slow, even strokes. Leah wipes down the kitchen cabinets, scrubbing old, dried coffee stains off the inside shelves with a bristle brush. The grit of old dust sticks to her gloves, and she has to rinse the brush twice to get it clean. Lexi dusts the windowsills and door frames, her movements slow and deliberate. She keeps her eyes down, avoids speaking, and works her way from room to room without stopping. Via leans against the kitchen counter and doesn't move to pick up a sponge. She pulls out her phone, checks the delivery schedule for their new furniture, and scrolls through social media while the others work. The sun dips lower, painting the exposed brick pink and orange. And by the time the first shadows stretch across the yard, the crack is sealed, the floors are mopped, and the trash cans are stacked full of old debris. Leah pulls out her phone and taps through to the furniture order page. She reconfirms the delivery time and notes the 8 a.m. slot for tomorrow, then locks the screen and sets it down on the counter. An hour later, a diesel truck rumbles up the driveway, its headlights cutting across the front of the house. The group pauses, surprised the first batch of their ordered household boxes was not supposed to arrive until tomorrow. A tired truck driver climbs out, waves off any help unloading, and tosses the stacked boxes onto the gravel before climbing back into his cab. He doesn't wait for a signature. He just pulls away, leaving tire tracks in the loose gravel. The group grabs the boxes one by one, carries them room by room through the cleaned entryway. Mark and Via take the 2 ground-floor guest rooms, side by side at the front of the house. Leah claims the small master bedroom at the back, with a window that looks out over the overgrown backyard. Lexi carries her boxes up the narrow attic stairs, to the room with the sloped ceiling that she asked for specifically. No one objects. Once every box is stacked against the correct wall, Via grabs her keys from the counter and says she's heading to the grocery store. She's gone for 45 minutes, comes back with 2 crumpled full paper bags that rustle when she sets them on the counter. Leah already pulled a dented metal pot out of the moving truck that morning, set it on the old gas stove. She chops yellow onions thin, fries crumbled ground beef until it browns, boils dry pasta in salted water, stirs in garlic and canned tomato sauce. Thin white steam curls up toward the spinning ceiling fan. The warm, sharp scent of garlic spreads from the kitchen, fills the entryway, seeps down the hall, and wraps around the whole first floor of the house. They sit around a dented, thrifted folding card table, leaning in toward the center. Everyone eats from chipped, mismatched plastic bowls. No one complains about the food, or the cheap table, or the hard folding chairs digging into their legs. When the last bite is gone, Leah pushes her bowl back, pulls a spiral-bound notebook and a ballpoint pen out of her pocket. and flips to a blank page. She already wrote down every monthly bill they have to cover, the amounts printed clear in her neat handwriting. She pushes the notebook to the center of the table, where everyone can see it, and leans back in her chair. They go around one by one, each picking what they can afford based on their current income. Leah offers to cover the mortgage and the car payment. It's the biggest chunk of the total by far, but she has the most stable full-time office job, and she doesn't hesitate. The pen skates across the paper as she marks her name next to the 2 lines. Next is Lexi. She stares at the notebook for 3 long seconds, her fingers twisting the edge of the paper napkin under the table. Leah waits. Lexi nods finally, and says she'll take electric and water. Her voice is barely loud enough to carry across the table, and Leah has to lean forward to catch the words. She marks Lexi's name anyway. Mark takes phone and internet since he works from home half the week, and he's already got a router waiting in one of his boxes. No one argues. Via takes grocery costs and gas for the car, the amount that fluctuates most month to month, and no one objects. They all reach into the center of the table. One by one, they shake on the agreement. No paperwork, no fine print. Just trust that everyone will hold up their end. By 10 p.m., the last dish is washed and stacked on the wire drying rack, water droplets glistening on the ceramic in the dim overhead light. The sun has fully set beyond the overgrown yard. The only lights left burning are the yellow porch light and a small plastic nightlight plugged into the hallway wall. Mark is the first to stand, yawning so wide his jaw cracks, and he drags his feet down the hall to his room. He pulls the door closed behind him with a soft click. Lexi grabs a half-empty plastic bottle of water from the counter, turns, and climbs the narrow attic stairs. Her footsteps are soft, almost silent, on the newly sealed wooden treads. Via crosses back to the front door, twists the deadbolt once, then twice, to make sure it catches, before she follows Mark down the hall to her own room. Leah blows out the half-melted beeswax candle on the table, twists the switch on the last overhead light, and plunges the entryway into dark. She stands there for 10 slow seconds, boots planted on the scuffed wood floor, listening to the house settle around her. She can hear the faint hush of everyone breathing behind their closed doors. This is their new home. She turns toward her room at the back of the house, pulls the door closed behind her. The streetlight outside cuts a thin silver line across the bare floor. In 5 minutes, everyone is already asleep.